Okay, so here's your video. Right, so let's go to back to the beginning of your video. Right, so this shot is quite nice, but it moves a little bit. So I think that you have a panning shot of the street, but you don't need to hand hold this. You can do it on the tripod, and you can use the tripod to kind of turn the camera and then tilt it upwards. Okay, so don't do it freehand because it doesn't quite work. Have it on the camera and then tilt it upwards. But is it right that you should tilt it upwards? Because isn't she below the stairs? Okay, so she's below the stairs, so should you be tilting the camera upwards? It looks like you're trying to go to like the upstairs window. All right, so I think that you don't need to tilt the camera upwards. Just pan the camera and then focus on this door. So don't zoom in or anything, but focus on this door. Because at the moment we've got two doors, not too sure which door we're supposed to be looking at. Which door we're supposed to be looking at, which window we're supposed to be looking at. All right, so the pan needs to come all the way across until it just has, I think if this is the house, yeah, have that house. Or if it's this house, have this house. Clearly, you don't want these things kind of in the window. You just, now all these things should be taken down. So just, this should be in the frame from here to here, okay? All right. That's a lovely first shot. And you could have like, you know, a title here, starring blah, blah, blah. Now, you've got a shot with her with things on her foot, which is what explains the going up the stairs. Why is this out of focus? This shouldn't be out of focus. Make sure you've got autofocus or focus it yourself. Reshoot this without her, with her injuries on her foot. So I do like this shot of her looking up and it going upstairs, but it's out of focus, as I said. Yeah, and I like this thing about it going slowly up, which is really nice. And then as it's going up, you can have titles revealing themselves. So it gets to there, and that's brilliant. Now, I think that, no, actually, it's framed okay, but it seems a bit wonky. Like the camera seems to be tilted. When you put it on the tripod, make sure that the camera is straight. There should be a little ball or whatever, a little green leveler on the tripod, which tells you if the tripod is on straight. But it looks like one leg might be extended, more extended than others. So again, this is out of focus. That needs to be reshot. This is out of focus. Don't have a thing of her standing still and then her moving. Okay, so think about this shot. Is she still looking up? Surely she should still be looking up, but she looks like she's looking straight ahead. So refilm this shot and have her, so she should be looking up, and then she should have started moving by now, yeah? But you've kind of like, it's clear that you said action, so make it a more fluid shot. So it should begin, she should start moving from this shot. Okay, so as I said that, you need to, let's get it where it needs to be. So here. So she should start moving in this shot, and then the next shot she's already moving. So it's kind of like, just need to edit that really. But all of this needs to be refilmed because it's out of focus. I like this, but now you can film it without her having the bandages on her feet. There's a bit of a jump there. I'm not too sure what happened. If there is that kind of jump, then like, for example, if there is an edit there, then put the camera at the top of the stairs and film her coming up the stairs. Don't carry on following her walk. I actually want to see her walking now. Again, not too sure what happened with that edit. There shouldn't be anything like that. If you're finding that the editing of her walking up the stairs is a bit difficult, just have the camera in a different position. So you have the camera in a different position so that you don't have any problems with the edit. The camera's shaking a lot here, and I can see that. Now, the body appears here, but there's no change in music. And I think as she walks as she walks over the body, it needs to slow down. It needs to slow down, and we need to hear kind of maybe a sound effect like ah, or something like that to tell us, oh my God, something's wrong here. Yeah. Good. This is a nice shot. Kind of like what's she doing? And then as soon as it gets to here, what you need to do is the camera needs, like you almost need to have now the camera on a tripod. So you get to there, so you get to over the shoulder shot. The next shot, you can have the camera literally, look at me, you can have the camera here maybe, or here, looking at our hands like moving fast. Alyssa, you need to move your hands a lot faster. So the camera here, looking at what she's doing. That's nice. You can imagine having titles appearing here as she's drawing. But again, this shot is lingering. This shot lingers too long. It needs to cut quickly. Okay, so I expect the shot to be cutting every like second or so, moving from the camera in lots of different positions. You can have the camera on the tripod in lots of different places here. It just takes too long. Nobody understands me. Yeah, I don't like that. Okay, what's that? What was this? But that's just random. The picture of the image of the jar just appearing. Yeah? That, you know that noise that you had when that jar appeared? Have that noise when you see the body on the floor. Now, that jar appearing, does it keep on appearing? Let me see. Okay, right, I can see what you've done. So you've got like kind of shots appearing in between her writing, but the camera keeps on being in the same position. Every time you see a flicker or something, let the camera be in a different position. Okay, let the camera be in a different position each time you see the flickering. And also the flickering needs to just last a bit longer because it is just too quick. You literally can't see it. So it just needs to be maybe like maybe a second or so before it goes to this. So it cuts between the flickering and this. And much more examples of the flickering. I'm assuming that was another one. Yeah, I don't like this. Getting up and walking out. Again, it's out of focus. So that, you know, she's gone from writing to just sitting there. There's no sign that she stopped writing. So you have to, maybe you need to think about, so how can we go from here to here? Yeah, again, it's out of focus. So maybe you can have her, she might lean back and look up, maybe. So she might lean back, move away from, she puts her pen, drops her pen, lean back and looks up, maybe, or something. But we have to have some kind of transition from her writing to her about to get up. Oh, sorry. So what happened to the thing of having the blood dripping from her hands? And then she's kind of like, and then she has her hand. Otherwise, that whole hand thing doesn't work. We're not sure what's going on with that hand. So you see how you've got the sound here, right? She comes out of the room. Still out of focus. There. Someone should be here, shouldn't they? Someone should be here just with their head down. Maybe it could be the person who we see. Maybe we could just have the back of someone just facing here as she walks past. The camera is moving and it shouldn't be. It has to be on a tripod. This doesn't look like blood. I know that's what you want it to look like, but it doesn't. Now, this person appearing in the thing, in the screen, I think we have to work on this, because her appearing and you kind of looking at her looks odd. Yeah, you're not looking at yourself, you're looking at her. You need to be looking at yourself. And it's also a bit, I don't know, it just doesn't really work in the way that you might want it to. Don't know what happened there with that edit. That needs to be taken out. So this edit needs to be taken out. This one. That. Don't know what that was all about. Yeah, I don't know. Okay, right. Maybe at the end, I don't know, I just think, so the person's face appears. Now, isn't it supposed to be from, it's supposed to be from her point of view? No, you can't, because she's washing her hands, obviously, so she can't hold the camera. And then it's just a bit... It just looks odd. This just looks odd. It doesn't work. We might need to work on colour or something here, but this whole thing just doesn't work. Maybe... do you remember what I was saying to you about when she sits down and like there's blood dripping from her? This doesn't look like blood, this just looks like paint. Like there's blood dripping from her hand onto the floor. Or her hand is just kind of like just down and then blood is dripping. I just think, yeah, it doesn't work. Okay, all right. So I've given you tips about what to do to improve that first bit. I think to improve this bit, shorten the handwriting scene, and make it a bit more snappy. So it's like going from lots of different positions. You know, look how it looks like this, but the camera's moving lots of different places. Sort this bit out between when she stops writing and when she gets up and walks off. And this bit with Bolu, it's just appearing there. We haven't heard any voices or anything, so you definitely need some whispering going on. If it's raised by voices, some whispering going on. Maybe when she starts writing, we can hear whispering in the background. That might make it a little bit more disturbing. This whole final sequence doesn't really work, I don't think. So I think maybe she looks up and then you need to have her washing her face here, and then she looks back and then Bolu's gone. So that's the whole point, isn't it? Because Bolu appears. So first of all, Bolu's not there. Bolu appears, then you wash your face again, look up, and she's not there anymore. Okay? And in terms of where the title should appear, I think, you know, going up the stairs is a good place to have the titles, like they can be on the stairs maybe. Here, as Alyssa walks past Melanie, and then coming into the room, this just feels a bit like a wasted shot. Hang on, this bit. It just feels odd. Like, why is the camera here? What's going on there? She should already be in shot, so I expect that shot to begin about like there. So the shot should really begin about there, and then